The American economy keeps on getting better and better, breaking records on jobs and in the stock market. And a recent Gallup poll showing 63% of voters approve of the way the president's handling the economy. So why do Democrats keep on talking about doom and gloom?
Here is the reality. Half of the American people today are living paycheck to paycheck. Today, you got 500,000 people sleeping out on the streets.
His economy isn't delivering for working people. The jobs don't pay enough for people to live on. We've got to take him down on the economy.
Problem is, we've had an economy grow and not be able to lift up those most in need.
Here with more, Director of the White House National Economic Council, Larry Kudlow, who, when the president says he hears speak, he says he thinks of money. Larry, when you hear the Democrats talk about how bad things are for regular working class people, it's just not true. We know they're going to lie. We know they're going to spin. But how do you at the same time tout the great economic achievements for the middle class, but at the same time acknowledge that paychecks have to get bigger and that you hear the concerns of working class Americans?
Well, listen, we've always heard the concerns of working class Americans. Actually, the president's whole campaign in 2016 was about lowering tax burdens for middle class Americans and small businesses, getting rid of needless and costly regulations that have damaged small businesses, who are the biggest job hirees in the country, creating millions of jobs with our energy packages that has made us independent, and maybe most of all, to renegotiate bad trade deals which permitted unfair trading practices and which damaged middle-class jobs in manufacturing and farming and elsewhere. I mean, look, this riff that I'm hearing from the other side of the aisle is a great example, Jesse, of cognitive dissonance, all right? Now, I know you're not really in the economic game. You know what I mean when I say cognitive dissonance? Do you know what that is? Okay,
yes,
buddy. Now, I'm just saying that because, as you know, in Washington, no one lies, so it's just a bit of cognitive dissonance.
Right.
Here's the deal. When you see middle-income wages for production workers rising faster than their managers, significantly faster. I mean, weekly wages for middle income and lower wage earners are rising 5%. The managers' wages are rising about 2%. That's 1 point. The bottom 10% of the workforce is getting the largest gains substantially faster. Now, these are gains. These are growth.
Right.
Substantially faster than the top 1%. This old saw that I'm hearing, that the middle class lives paycheck to paycheck. Well, I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, I believe certain presidential candidates probably live paycheck to paycheck. That's beside the point if the paycheck is fatter, which is exactly what is happening here,
Larry,
and they will not acknowledge
very well
that.
In your illustrious career, people do live paycheck to paycheck. They string out things and they have to really budget. But I think the president has a firm grip on those realities.
But the point is, Jesse,
yes,
here's the point.
Yes.
The paychecks are getting fatter.
Yeah.
So here's a stat. This is not our stat. You know, this comes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and the Census Bureau. We don't control those agencies, all right? They're the ones that are telling us, after tax, after inflation, the average family in the United States, about $66,000 a year, has increased their take-home pay, to use Ronald Reagan's phrase, by $5,000 in 3 years.
Yeah. I use that statistic on Water's World. I'm very familiar with it, Larry. Even with my very limited grasp of economics,
well,
that
no,
makes
if you
sense
pick up
to me.
Actually, if you can reduce it all to cognitive dissonance. Look, the
Yes.
prior 16 years, Jess, under Republicans and Democrats, that after-tax take-home pay stuff was basically flat. We're up $5,000. That is a direct consequence of lower taxes and regulations and better trade deals and better energy, for example. Look, at some point, the cognitive dissonance has to give way to the actual facts. And like I say, we don't control the Bureau of Labor Statistics. We don't control the Census Bureau. And not only is this a blue-collar boom, this is a women's boom, okay? I don't know if you saw Ivanka Trump's event we had at the State Department yesterday. Women are among the best beneficiaries of this. It is women now who dominate the labor force. It is women who have had a huge increase in participation rates and wages. It is women at the margin who are coming back into the labor force. Women have power. They have economic
there's
power.
no doubt about
I don't
it.
hear
Women
the other
are
side
winning
talking about that. And
under the president.
let's go into African American
Yes.
unemployment. Okay, in fact, overall unemployment 3.6%. Let's look at the African Americans, Hispanics, Asian women. How about the snowflakes, the millennials, Jesse? Jesse Waters? Are you a millennial?
No, but thank you. I appreciate that. It's my
I will
youthful
put you
charm.
in that category because I want to say that the young millennials who are far too much maligned, they've gone back to work.
Wow.
Their participation
They're moving
rate
out of
is
their parents'
skyrocketing.
basement. I love it. Everybody, if you don't know what cognitive dissonance is, go Google it. Larry, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jess. Appreciate it.